what DEFCO and the EU is doing to tackle inequalities in the world is, of course, we make a new big commitment to development cooperation, but we have seen that this is largely insufficient to tackle inequalities. First, because we want to mainstream inequality in all our development cooperation in a systemic way. So to have an inequality analysis at the beginning for each country and see how through our instruments we can tackle that. And have indicators that are measurable afterwards to see in a qualitative way how we impact, quantitative and qualitative impact indicators to see what we're achieving. This is one thing. The other thing is that we want to enter into dialogue with partner countries because we know that inequalities are deeply rooted systemic problems that go to the very power structure of countries. If we are not seeking that dialogue and if we are not partnering up with like-minded countries, we cannot make a dent there. And there it's important not to only engage with governments, but also with all sectors of society, because we have seen that change cannot be imposed from the outside. It has to come from within, and there civil society, in the largest sense, plays a huge role. Civil society, including traditional leaders, churches, private sector, those that are always identified with being most resistant to change. The new Commission puts the fight against inequality as a square priority across the board, both internally in the EU, because inequality is threatening the democracies within the EU, because it seems that democracy is not delivering to the people. So that is giving rise to populism. We need to address that internally. So the new Commission is trying to systematize that work within the EU, but we're also trying to link that with the external dimension so that one can reinforce the other. Because in a nutshell, this is a global problem and it needs to be addressed globally. I was mentioning in our dialogue this morning the fight against corruption with the very impressive numbers of 1.26 trillion per year lost to corruption in developing countries. Without that, we cannot have enough funds that can be redistributed for fighting inequalities. So we need to broaden the tax base through domestic resource mobilization. But also we have to work on the political will. So in that sense, we have to look at all the actors together and engage with all pressure groups, also in partner countries, to demand these sort of systemic changes in their countries. I saw that our staff working document of the Commission is very similar to the report that CONCORD just issued. So the conclusions, the recommendations, I could just sign on the dotted line. So I'm very comfortable to see that we're coming to the same conclusions and we're pushing in the same direction. We had a broad set of panelists this morning, and everybody said, if we want to have any hope to make a difference, we have to work all together in a partnership at the global level, because what was coming out very clearly is we need a system change. A system is a systemic change. Otherwise, we will not be able to tackle it. So partnership at the global, at the regional, but also at the national levels.